the Adams Irresistible. It's pretty good on its own, but it's even better when you use it as a tugboat. So you got a real heavy beadhead nymph or something that you're dropping off a dry fly. This is a really good dry fly to do it from because it floats so well, and it'll take a beating. So the trick to tying this fly is you got to know how to spin deer hair, and it's not one of my best skills, but I will show you what I do, and we'll leave it at that. So what I start with is I don't stack the hair, I just trim it off. You know, if you get too much and you try to spin it, it really won't sit on the hook very well. So my suggestion is, I don't know how much that is, let's say, you know, when you pinch it together, you got about a half, maybe 3/8 of an inch of deer hair. I start, see, I'm going to spin 2 to 3 different clumps of deer hair. So what I like to do is start the first one, run your thread just in front of the end of the hook, and then do about 3 loose wraps. On the third one, we're going to start pulling. We're going to wrap and just let it spin. And we're going to help it here real quick. Okay. I'm pulling pretty tight. Okay. So what we're going to do, this is just an end of a pen. That's all it is. We run it right over top. Get my thread out of the way. So I'm going to run my thread on the front side of this. Now all we're going to do is shove this back on the shank, like so. Okay. Now we're going to take our second stack. This is going to be ugly. There's nothing pretty about it. About the same amount. 3 loose. And start pulling tight. Okay, same thing. Get thread out of the way. Now when you slide this back, you're breaking the thread. What you're hoping for is that the wraps you put on the deer hair stay intact. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Now guys who are really, really good at spinning deer hair are laughing at me right now. This is how I kind of taught myself to do it. You know. Okay, last one. Okay. pretty good. Alright, now what we can do, let's around again. We want to hold that back, we don't want it sliding forward. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, you take your fingers, hold that back. Get this tied in as best we can. Up there. And run your thread out. Okay. There. So, looks like garbage, right? Well, it's going to, until we trim it. I do most of the trimming after I'm done. But what I'm going to do right now is trim out front, because I need to put the wing on. And my hackles. So use grizzly tips for your wing. I'm working on the wing. I got one on, the other one on here. One brown and two grizzly hackles. You can tie them, basically tie all three in together. It doesn't matter which order. What we're looking for is just a nice full hackle on this fly. Okay. And the last grizzly. Okay. Now, the last thing we want to do is whip this, close it off. Okay. So, a couple things you have to do when you're trimming this is, I mean, you can trim it before you put the hackle on. I like to do it after, because the hackle doesn't really get in your way, it's the tail. So, and then you can size your body. I'm not sure where my tail is right now. Alright, so I'm going to take this out of the vise and finish the... Alright, so I finished trimming it. As you can see, it's a lot of deer hair, a really heavy hackle, and a pretty heavy tail on it too. This thing will float like crazy. It doesn't matter what kind of water you fish it in, but if you're fishing a dropper nymph or something with, you know, extra weight on it to get it down in faster, deeper water, this is a great fly to do it from. And for, you know, just fishing a dry fly when you're not sure what else to fish, I've had great success just fishing this by itself. So there you have it, the Adams Irresistible.